back to my channel. My name is Bella and this is Imperfect Hippies. Today I have a very exciting video for y'all. It is market vlog and I'm gonna take you through my last market and then we'll chat about kind of the results and how I feel like it went. With that, let's head on over to my market. Enjoy. So this is the final setup for my market. I'm so in love with the Pride area over here. It got a lot of attention this day. I always love having free stickers or free something. This cute banana. I got my keychains, all cute. I always love having a clear method of payment sheet. Yeah, and just all the cute plushies out. And then my $5 clearance bin. And this is just the setup that I went with. I really love how this worked this day. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that market footage. Let me just give you a little bit of details about the market now. So if you didn't watch my last video where I did some market prep, then you don't know the market details for this one. You should also go check that video out. So this was an evening market. It was from 5 to 9 p.m. It was actually a really hot day. I live in Oregon, so we're hitting the summer, and typically the summer is not too bad here, but we just weren't used to that weather yet. It was like rainy and cold the weeks leading up, and then it was like a week of just like consistent 80s or something, and sunny and hot, and it was great, but like your girl died a little. It was a little hot. I need some transition. So setup was a little rough. We were sweating profusely by the end. I honestly was so exhausted after setup that I was like, I still have the whole market? Oh my god. But truthfully, like, this was such a fun, fantastic market that the heat was worth it. And I'll take warm weather over stormy weather on an outside market any day. So I truly am not complaining. The worst part was just the setup. And then kind of the way our booth was positioned, we were getting the setting sun, which kind of stunk, but again, it was okay. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna embrace the warm months and the sun while I get it, because I'll be stuck with gray for who knows how long in just a couple months. So this was the first market that I was finally able to do the full setup. So my full canopy, a full 10 by 10. I even went and grabbed another 4-foot table. And so I was able to do kind of like the Z formation. I know it's not actually a Z, but that's what it's called. And I loved it. I was so proud of my setup and just how full the booth felt, how engaging it felt. I even got some lights and had them hung up. It didn't even get that dark because again, the sun sets at after 8, sometimes even after 9 up here, but it's still just like, it was a good mood. It was a good ambiance there. And I always say, I just love the vibes of this market. Like, even if it isn't the busiest or has the best foot traffic, I just have so much fun vending here. So I will always continue. But yeah, I think a huge part of that for this market was how proud I felt of my setup, and not just like how full the inventory was, but I've really been trying to challenge myself to set my booth apart from others. I mean, there wasn't even any other crochet booths there, but even still, like, I love adding decor pieces and just other pieces that help represent who I am and then what Imperfecthippies is about. So yeah, I don't know if you saw in that footage, but I was really proud of my setup, and I hope that you can take some inspiration from that. So not only are just the vibes at this market always so fun and enjoyable, but I really have to congratulate the organizers for just doing such a fantastic job putting together a market that people want to come to. That's such a huge challenge that I think us as vendors don't even realize, like, how difficult it is to get people to come to your market. Last year, they were just really struggling with this. And so this year, I've just noticed a huge improvement for them. So I'm just really proud of the organizers themselves. But for instance, this market, they had activities for people to do. So it wasn't just vending, or it wasn't just shopping at the booths. There was like one of those basketball games that you see at an arcade, and then there was cornhole, and then there's 2 food trucks, this like Greek food place, and then a stone oven pizza. We got that and it was delicious. But yeah, they had food trucks and then kind of a shaded area with tables so people could eat and sit comfortably. They also had just some chalk for people to play with, and that was so adorable. I included some footage of some of the drawings that people did there, and oh my gosh, those little squirrels knitting, wasn't that so precious? I took so many pictures of them because I was like, I need to remember these are so cute. I'm just really grateful for these organizers and how much work they're really putting into making these markets fun and exciting, not just for the vendors, but for the shoppers as well. And did y'all see that guy performing? I know you couldn't hear what he was actually singing. I'm sorry I couldn't play that, but spoiler, it's amazing. He was amazing. He had his guitar, and I believe it was a trombone. Yes, a trombone. But yeah, he was just putting on a phenomenal performance. He wasn't there for the full 4 hours. He was only there for the first 2, and then they just had like another DJ just playing mix of music. But oh my gosh, I hope they bring him back next time, or at least another performer, because he was fantastic and we were like right in front of him. So that was great to have a front row seat. Just enjoying him for while he was playing and keeping on with the good vibes there. That's kind of how, those are like the details of the market. And now let's jump into what I know y'all are really here for. How did the sales go? Okay, actually, really good. For this location, this is the best market I've ever had. Again, not just experience-wise, but revenue as well. Drum roll, please. The total I made for this market was $445. Woo! And surprisingly, most of that was from cash. Usually the Square Reader's the most popular method of payment, but this market, people had their cash, so I was grateful. So now that total of $445, let me subtract my booth fee, which was only $25. I profited $420, which I'm sorry. If anyone gets that, that's amazing, especially because this market is at a dispensary. So I think that was just a beautiful sign that that's just how much I made. So let me get into now what's sold. I'm not gonna go through everything because it was quite a lot. I think I filled 2.5 sheets of my notebook paper, so that's great. Do y'all wanna guess if something sold out? Spoiler, it did. I was so pleased of this, but I sold every single one of my loaf cats. What? I brought 5 loaf cats and I sold them each for $25 and every single one sold. That was amazing. I think 2 within like the first 2 hours. It was incredible. I definitely am gonna be market prepping more of those. And I know Annie just dropped the Flower and Friends loaf cat, which I already bought. So I will be making those as well. And I am super excited. I wanna say, besides the loaf cat, the other item that was probably the most popular are gonna be the keychains I made, specifically all the Mushy Pop ones. I'm so glad I was able to bring my keychains back. The previous market I had, if you haven't watched that market vlog, please go check that one out. But they had it an inside market at the same location, but they just moved it inside because the weather was gonna be really bad. So I only had like enough space for an 8-foot table. So I did have to leave some inventory home, and one of those was the keychains. But this last market, I brought them out, and sure enough, they were a huge hit. So I'm super excited about that, and I will be making more. Some other items that I did just want to mark on that I was very pleased that they finally sold, because I just have kind of had them for a while. My big B, so normally I just carry like minis or kind of the regular small size. I just had one kind of larger bee, and she was $30, and a dad came and bought her for his daughter, so I thought that was super cute. And then also I've had this purple variegated mushroom. It was like this purple variegated Bernat blanket yarn was the mushy cap, and I've had this mushroom for a year by now. It was like one of the first makes ever when I first started with my markets last year, and I just made like a bunch of different mushrooms with a different kind of like variegated yarn, and I thought it was super cute. They weren't very popular. People didn't dig them so much. So I had them for a while, and I had 2 left that I brought to this market, and one of them sold, and it was the purple one. So I thought that was super sweet, and they're kind of like a little random from the other mushrooms that I'm selling. So sometimes I don't always put them out, or I'll put them out kind of like once these things have sold down and I have space on the table. And that's exactly what happened. I just put these out. 30 minutes later, a friend of mine came, and she like loved the purple and bought the purple keychain and that purple mushroom. And I was like, thank you. I mean, I'm always so grateful when anyone buys anything from my booth, but sometimes it like means more when it's something that's been like I've had for a while, and I'm like, you get to go home. You were bought, like. But yeah, and then also the pink lemonade dino, that was the last T-Rex I had, so I definitely want to make some more dinos, specifically T-Rex. And then the blue and white, the blue variegated shell with the white body of the sea turtle, that cutie sold. I was so happy. Selfishly, I was a little sad that it broke up the pair of the black and pink one, but how were they supposed to know it was a pair, you know? Like, that was just something I made in my head. So I was just so happy that that cutie went home. And then I was kind of surprised by this, but only one of my rainbow bees sold. And that was pretty much like all of the Pride things that sold. Like, I think some people bought some of the colored Leggy Froggies and the colored Mushy Caps boys, but nothing like, only one rainbow bee sold, and none of the trans bees and none of the rainbow snails. So I'll just bring those on for inventory for my next market. you could have rainbow year long. It's not just for Pride. But yeah, I was just kind of shocked that only one sold. And then another cool thing that these organizers did this time around is that they were doing community coins. So they were worth $5, and basically if you made a purchase inside the dispensary, I think of like X amount, you got a $5 community coin. And so you could use that at any of the vendors' booths or even like the food trucks, which was super cool. So I had a lot of people using like their $5 community coins, and then at the end, the event coordinators and organizers would just pay me however amount I had in community coins in cash. And so I just thought that was like such a fun way to encourage shoppers to like check out different vendors as well. So I just really appreciated that. Overall feels, I know I've said many times, I had such a great time at this market. So much fun, really proud of my sales, and overall just really proud of myself and putting myself out there, having a really fun, engaging display setup, and even myself. I was really proud of myself for how engaged I was with every customer coming into my booth. I was standing up for most of the market, or at least when customers would approach, I would stand up, which I did notice made a huge difference. Normally, I do try and sit down just because I'm tired. I usually do these markets after a full shift of work already, so I'm usually pretty tired, but I was standing up, engaging with every customer, and because like there was fun vibes and music, I was also just like dancing and having a good time. So yeah, I had the time of my life, truly. I mean, markets like these are why I keep doing them, is why I love running my small business. Yeah, I think that's everything I needed to touch on. I really hope y'all enjoyed that market footage and then just kind of my chatty recap with you. I look forward to coming out with more of these. Again, the next video is going to be another market prep as I switch gears and get ready for the next market. But yeah, for now, thank you guys so much for coming along with me, watching this video, and make sure to like and comment and subscribe if you want to keep on going with my journey. And in the meantime, feel free to check out my last market prep or market vlog. So peace out, friends.